Hey guys, this is Crap Hunter, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Woo! And it's slightly different than usual video. We're going to be having a replay not from myself. This replay was sent in by Bidden War from the Priests of Wololol clan on a rather silly game he had during a team skirmish session in a Panzer 1C group. Now, the prelude to the game starting, there was an amount of text onto the side. So if you are interested in getting something of a story, feel free to check out the chat in the basic chat below. Now, basically, what they were doing was they were talking to the other clan, Just, we're going to call them, just to say we're just going to. Basically, they were negotiating to go into the enemy base and try and ram kill them and have a bit of a silly game. And this game, I will say, I'm not going to spoil it much, but I will say this game was not only interesting, but it's possibly one of the better experiences of my World of Tanks career. In fact, possibly the best. So anyway, the game starts off as usual. All of the team members are even somewhat damaging themselves as well, rushing towards the enemy base. We are on the Arctic map, or if you're not too sure, if you see if you have a game on this is called the Mannerheim line for the replays. And the enemy team have moved into position and have presented themselves with a gun salute as the Priests of Wololol clan enter in. And that's the first thing they do, which is awesome. So Bidden War decides to ram kill himself by driving completely into the Cromwell, and none of these guys have shot at our Panzer 1Cs yet. They're still presenting their guns. Even when Penguin decides to do some damage to the enemy Hellcat, they're still not reacting to it, which is just brilliant, I will say. Well done on their part. I think one of the Cromwells, the one that Bidden tried to ram, is now starting to try and have a go at knocking out. Mind destroys Raven, which is hilarious. One of the Cromwells is ram killing our Panzer 1C. And this is just a silly game. There is no actual seriousness at all, if you haven't spotted it already in this game. Penguin tries to ram the 5916. Cromwell has a go at Peekaboo. Japs decides to try and ram kill both the T-34 and the Cromwell. T-34 tries to save Cromwell from being killed, but fails miserably. Mind is getting chased by the Cromwells. Japs is trying to do his best to save it. Mind gets pushed about a bit. Mind destroys the 5916, and the enemy team are being great sports. They're just having a hell of a laugh. Mind destroys Peekaboo, and Penguin gets ram killed. And at this point, in the chat, if you haven't looked much at the chat, they're just sort of talking about having the two Panzer 1Cs have a bit of a duke-off to see who survives. Major kudos and respect to these people. And then in this, both Japs and Minderstep decide to have a bit of a team-on-team attack phase. And Japs has the upper hand. He's about reloaded, starts doing a lot of damage to Minderstep. It looks like he's about to kill him when the other Cromwell saves Mind. Oh, what a legend. What a legend. I've never witnessed such an awesome match. And then the enemy team starts doing destruction to itself. I mean, this is just brilliant. And Bidden in the chat, if you're wondering, is sort of just telling the entire team to just ram kill Minderstep so that they can get it over with and give the enemy team a fairly decent game. But no, they're not going for it. Instead, they're still trying to team kill each other. In fact, what they're doing is they're actually getting the corpses of all of the Panzer 1Cs, and they're going to move it into a pile onto their cap. I have no idea why they were doing it, but it was pretty awesome. Well, you'll find out in a bit, but it's pretty awesome regardless. So this is pretty fantastic. So I'm going to speed things up a little bit so we don't end up wasting too much time. But yeah, basically Mind obviously tries to do some damage to the enemy team, and they still do not react. If you're following the chat as well, they're basically sort of talking to the enemy team, because they are being the ultimate legends right now. This is just timeless, absolutely timeless. And the enemy team still moving the tanks into position, taking their time, but it's absolutely hilarious. And it was at this point that Mind... it was at this point that... Oh, not yet. So it was at this point... coming up to a point which you will absolutely love. Speed things up a little bit. Yeah, now it was at this point, there we go, where Mind decides to park himself right into a little corner amongst a pile of his fallen brethren. And at this point, that they decide, hey, why not trap him in his own friends? So, yeah, they start moving the last corpse into position to try and trap Mind to the step into a sort of a shield wall of his fallen brethren. And both of the T-34-85/Type-58s are just being ever so careful, trying not to hit Mind as they try and clear the corpses, so that way they can box him in completely. With no assistance from Mind, of course. And bang. So, yeah, he's now completely boxed in, and the enemy team still aren't doing anything. They are just absolute legends. So shout out to them. They are being absolute legends. They're not reacting. They're firing a gun salute, and they're just letting us have probably letting the Priest of Wallalol the best Panzer 1C game ever. So that is pretty freaking awesome to see. Now, if there's one thing that you guys haven't noticed already, look up to the top of the screen. Yeah, we're capping. We're getting close to winning. What's this? 10 from the cap. Shit, and Peekaboo notices that we're going to actually cap. Oh my god, the enemy team are not they're not stopping us. And 3, and 2, and 1, bang. The enemy team just let us cap. They completely didn't care about that game. And, you know, watching this replay, I mean, this is just the best experience ever. It's so funny, absolutely hilarious, and more to the point, it just goes to show that even in the horrid, drum, terrible sort of multiplayer sludge at times that World of Tanks can be, either during events or weekends where there's something going on, there are still bands of people who are ultimate legends to either fight against or fight alongside with. And I hope we can have many good games with the Just Clan. Hopefully we can even get into contact with them and work with them on some things, because this was just too much fun. I really want to be involved with something like this in the future, and I'm very much happy to have been able to show you this, guys, because it's awesome. I think this is the best game I have ever seen in World of Tanks so far. This is it. This is a record that I'm stating now. Best, most hilarious game I have ever witnessed in my World of Tanks career. And I'm very humbled to have shown it to you guys. So anyway, thank you very much for this relatively shortish video, but still just as awesome World of Tanks video. If you like this kind of content, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. If you yourself are a YouTuber or a World of Tanks player, or a YouTuber who does World of Tanks, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below if there's anything I can do to improve my commentary, a style of video, anything that just makes the next one even better than it was before. So thank you very much once again for watching this. This is Crap Hunter signing out, and I'll catch you next time.